Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reading r/EntitledParents. Our first post, Entitled Mother Demands Year-Old Replacement. I work customer service for a company that deals with high-end product. This was my last call today. I receive a call from Entitled Mother. Her husband ordered personal Christmas stockings last year. Their order arrived late, so they ended up just storing the box they came in away for next Christmas. Entitled Mother explained she just recently opened a delivery package to decorate for Christmas. Girl, it is still November. She was unsatisfied with the stitching of her son's name on her son's stocking, so she called us to replace them. I listened to her story and decided to pull up the order anyways after she gave me the order number. She demanded that we replace the stocking, and if that style of stocking was no longer available, that we needed to also replace another stocking as well, since she had two of the same style to make it match. I explained this is way past our 30-day return policy, but I'll look into it anyways to see what I can do. I placed her on hold while I researched our knowledge base. I was already 99% sure we couldn't make any exception. Plus, it was a personalized item with her son's name, so that made things even more interesting. After researching the knowledge base and getting a better idea what I should do in the situation, I took her off hold and asked her if she checked the quality of the products last year, when she received them. Obviously, her answer was no. I explained she should have checked her product's quality last year when she received them, regardless if it was after Christmas. So we could have done an exchange within our return policy. Entitled Mother tells me she has higher expectations of how our product's quality should look, due to our products being high-end products. I explain that my answer is firm, and I will not be able to create a replacement. Entitled Mother goes all Karen on me, and asks for a supervisor. I work from home, and my company told us when they asked for a supervisor, we would be unable to transfer them to anybody, since our supervisors aren't taking any calls. I explained to her I was not able to get her a supervisor because I work from home, but I would be able to put up a follow-up form so someone else can contact her at a later time. Entitled Mother didn't care for my follow-up, so she asked for my name. I gave her my first name. And your last name? I know better than to give my last name over the phone, so I explained I won't be giving my last name, but my name will be attached to the notes of this phone call. So, you won't be giving me your surname. She bitterly asked again and again. I told her no. Entitled Mother is about to rage quit, and she says she will be calling back to speak with another rep, and she ended the call. Entitled Aunt tries to give away my dead mother's cat. This happened about a year ago. My 23 female married, lovely mother had two beautiful tabby cats. We both loved dearly. She unfortunately passed away mid-2019, and during my family meeting after, everyone decided that I should be responsible for the cats. My husband and I planned on adopting both of them, which would make us a 5-cat household as we already had 3. We decided to bring them in one at a time in order to give everyone time to adjust, but decided after bringing in the first one, 4 was our limit. My mother had been living with her sister, Entitled Aunt, at the time of the death, so her cats were naturally living there as well. I asked Entitled Aunt if she could hold on to cat number 2 for me while we looked for a new home, and gave her permission to search with me, and report back if she thought she found someone suitable. A couple weeks passed and no one was taking the bait. I had some qualifications for adoptees before I'd give away my mom's beloved baby, so I wasn't going to entertain just anyone. I was very specific with Entitled Aunt about this as well. Eventually, one of my older sister's longtime friends reached out and expressed interest in him, and I was thrilled. She fit exactly what kind of household I wanted him in. Following this news, I reached out to Entitled Aunt to let her know she could stop searching, as I had found a home and would be picking him up the next day. She responded back she had already given him away, without consulting me, the responsible party. I was livid, to say the least. She started sending me pictures of this person's apartment with my cat running around inside, gushing about he already liked her and how this complete stranger was so in love with him after her cat passed away. I immediately demanded that she bring him back this instant, and how it was not okay she gave him away without my consent or knowledge. That's when she started the waterworks and somehow couldn't comprehend how asking her to help me find someone and giving her permission to give him away were completely different things. This turned into a 3 or 4 hour argument, where I even had to get her second daughter to intervene on my behalf, because she just would not listen to a word I had to say on the matter. She tried to accuse me of ruining her friendship with this lady, of breaking her heart and trying to stir up more trouble and grief for her after my mother died, as if it wasn't just as painful, or not more so, for me. Eventually, my wonderful cousin got her to back down and bring the cat home. I picked him up the next day first thing, and delivered him to his new home, where I'm actually confident he'll be safe, happy, and well loved. It's your fault I vomited on your baby. Key information: I, 24 female, have a diagnosed phobia of children, especially babies. Especially babies' drool. I'll gag and even throw up if one touches me. Unfortunately, no one believes this. This happened when I was about 16 in a shopping center. So me and my mom were out shopping for groceries, and my mom's friend Karen shows up with their baby. They're small talking, and I step back and start looking at something on the shelf to avoid looking at the baby, since it's drooling, and if I see it, I'll start gagging, which is always embarrassing and awkward. Karen asked me to hold her baby for God knows what reason. I declined, saying I've never held one and it's unsafe. She then starts to walk over with the drooling nightmare, so I start backing away and I gag. Why did you gag? My baby isn't disgusting. What the hell is wrong with you? Oh, she's weird with germs. It doesn't matter. I'll hold her. Karen then goes on a rant about how she wants me to hold her, and I'm being dramatic. She starts getting closer to me, and I start gagging more dramatically. My eyes are watering and everything at this point. The more I gag, the louder and angrier she gets. The closer she gets, and the worse I get. At this point, she's right in front of me, and I'm backed against a shelf. My mom tried to defuse the situation, but Karen's holding a baby, so what the fuck can mom really do? Eventually, she pushes the child too close to me. It's sobbing at this point. A bit of saliva from the sobbing gets on me, and I projectile vomit my breakfast all over Karen and her baby. She starts screaming hysterically. My mom laughs hysterically, and I am unbelievably embarrassed, so I run to the bathroom to clean up. Entitled mother keeps butting into my private relationship matters. Background: my mother is a narcissist, a gaslighter, and has been emotionally abusive all my adult life. Her bullying gave me IBS, critical anxiety, and panic attacks. Back in 2016, my boyfriend and I decided to move to the other side of the country for school, and eventually these symptoms started to become much more manageable being away from her. Fast forward to now, my boyfriend is now my fiancé. We're planning our wedding for next year. As of late, my mother has been bothering me with extremely personal questions/comments about my future. For example, she'll ask me what church my fiancé and I will decide to go to as a couple. She told me it's absolutely essential that our children play a sport, otherwise they'll be out of shape. I was forced into playing a sport my entire childhood/teenage life. She said it's stupid to only want one child, because if we get overwhelmed raising multiple kids with no family around, she can fly out to where we live to babysit. I learned quickly not to tell her anything after she shit on the potential names that we were thinking about for our first child, both boy and girl names. The one that's been getting to me though is her asking how my fiancé and I are planning on handling our finances. That's extremely personal between us, and a large part of our decision on the matter has to do with how my mom and dad handled their money. They combined everything into joint accounts, and it caused huge issues with their marriage. My dad is much more frugal, and my mom loves to shop, and anytime she purchased anything, it would cause an argument. I never want that to be the case with my fiancé and I. I am much more frugal than him, so we decided to both have joint and separate accounts. I told my mom it's none of her business, and she hit me with, "I thought we were closer than that." And, "You know it's not a marriage if you're not sharing everything." I've just had it with these questions, and the other ridiculous questions/judgment about my relationship. Has anyone had similar issues with a mother who has to butt into everything? Entitled mom tries to use son as an excuse to not be fired. This is technically still going on, so I'll edit as I get updates. I'm 17 and I work at McDonald's. Entitled mom is 28 and a coworker. She happens to also be a single mom. Earlier this week, I reported her, and I'll give a list of reasons why. 1. She's constantly rude to me and coworkers. 2. She doesn't know how to do her job properly and refuses any and all help. 3. She's completely unhygienic. 4. She doesn't wear a mask at work. 5. She tries to work in the kitchen without gloves. 6. We don't have paid breaks, and if you take more than 10, you're supposed to have clocked out on a break timer, so you don't steal company's money. Every day she works there, she ends up going on a 40 to 50 minute unclocked break, telling the manager it will only take a couple minutes. 7. One time I was teaching her a position, she reached down and took off her shoe, then scratched her bare foot with her bare hand. I immediately pointed to the hand sanitizer and just said, "Sanitizer." 8. Every time she works, our times go up. So yeah, me and a couple other employees reported her. She immediately assumed it was me, which I don't really understand as I treated her politely in all of our interactions. She ended up walking up to me and asking if I was 18. I told her no. Then she said, Well, karma is real and you just took food off of my little boy's plate. So let me catch you outside of here, see what happens. To which I responded, go ahead and assault a minor, see what happens. She pauses and says, I would never do that. As if she just didn't openly threaten me in front of 3 other employees. She hasn't been punished yet, and I'm probably gonna report her for threatening me today. I would feel bad for her son if it wasn't for the fact she openly admitted that her mother mostly takes care of him, and that she does hard drugs. We make less than 20 grand a year, and if you have enough to consistently buy drugs, then that's probably what you're spending most of that paycheck on. Anyway, any advice or similar stories is welcome, and if you have any questions, I can answer. Oh my god, she definitely needs to be fired. I would throw up if I found out people are cooking my food like that. Seriously, people, wear a mask. Not that hard. Come on, just wear it. And if you haven't yet, also subscribe. I make videos every other day, and you can happily catch those days. But make sure to have a great day, every day.